This is Out Loud and Laughing.
Hi, Brian.
Oh, John, I'm not even gonna say hi to you because you know what that looks like.
I do. I know what it sounds like too, and I'm kind of over it. So let's just dive in.
Let's just dive into all things negativity today. How are you,
Speaking
John?
in speaking in negative, no, actually, I'm doing really well. I
Oh,
I have an entire like patio garden off my balcony, and
mm,
I call it my rescue garden, and it's
okay.
all like things that I've propagated and planted, and they're like doing really well, and they bring me joy, and that's kind of what my life looks like right now, which I'm actually not going to complain about.
You are legit our grandmother who passed, so you are carrying the torch.
Carrying the yes, I am rooting myself in her legacy.
You are. Ah.
Oh my gosh, how are you doing? What's going on over there?
Oh God, what's going on over here? We got some good news for Piper, or my dog.
What's happening over there?
So I talked about it a few episodes ago. We didn't know how she was doing, but we went to a doctor, an oncologist, and they think they can actually shrink some of the tumor in her heart and let her live a lot longer.
That's like that one. That's really really great news. Actually, I was not sure what kind of news was going to come from that, so I'm really pleased to hear that. How are you feeling about it?
I mean, and we don't know. Obviously, we haven't done anything yet. We're going to. We haven't done it yet, so there's still many things that can complicate it. But it was hopeful news. We were expecting the worst, so you know, we're feeling good about that. We're feeling good that, she's 11. So French Bulldog 11. We understand that we're on borrowed time, but Frenchies can live between 13 and 15 years if, God willing. And we're just like, if we can keep her alive, we can. But if she's in pain, we're not going to do that. Just like the decision you had to make with Brody. So we're like, we were of two camps. But the doctor basically said, A, I think this is treatable. This isn't uncommon. And B, she's not even in pain. She probably doesn't even know she has an issue. And we are like, okay, good. Then
Yeah.
let's keep her alive.
Yeah, no, that's great news. I actually had a one-on-one with my deceased dog Brody last night, and I said, "You have to watch over Piper because we can't let that bitch take your death year."
Oh, that's so true. Oh my God, Piper would come in and say, "Hey, Brody, one up to you."
Saying, "Hey guys, watch this. Hold my beer. Hold my bone."
Piper
No,
would
I'm
do that
really
to Brody.
I know that's such a Brody thing to do. I mean, a Piper thing to do. No, I'm actually really relieved to hear that that there's hope there, and that always is. It's a good way to live for another day is with a little bit of hope.
Yeah, so Piper will be alive in 2025. Knock on wood. I don't know. With everything going on, are we going to be alive in 2025, John?
I don't know. It's been a long journey leading up till now, but if this is the way it ends, at least we look good.
I know. Being gay in 2025 right now is just weird.
How it's I want to unpack that with you. I don't think you and I have even had this conversation together ourselves, but it makes me think about sort of my own personal journey outside of the already all encapsulating journey of gay people in our world, and like how I thought it would look a little differently than how it looks today.
Okay.
Maybe it's just because I'm impatient, but I truly thought that we'd be a lot further along as a society. That it still wouldn't carry its gross stigmas, the stigmas of still fear of like not being accepted, things like that. Like I'm surprised that those things still exist. How do you feel about it?
I feel the same. I feel like there's a world where there's still a big group of people who don't want to accept us because they lean into, well, they don't lean into, they use religion as a way to make decisions for them, and as a result they alienate our community. So I don't know. I think I completely agree. I want to believe we're supposed to be a lot further than we are today, but it feels like every time we take one really big step forward, we take like two backwards. So I feel like we shouldn't have to be walking in fear, and we still do a little bit. So, like, my question to you, because I would love to hear this, is like, as a gay man in 2025, what's like the one thing that scares you the most?
That's a really good question. I'd be curious to hear yours as well. So while I formulate my response, I'm going to be throwing it back over to you. But I think, my biggest fear, some of my biggest fears have not come true, right? Like
Okay.
my family has accepted me. Nothing, I've not been assaulted. I've not yet. But my biggest fear is like being out on a date or being out in public and holding my partner's hand or touching the small of their back somewhere and getting accosted. I think it
Mm,
would really trigger a lot of my shame, even if it was just verbally. I think that would incite the same amount of trauma in my body as would something physical, just for that feeling of being exploited and just embarrassed.
yeah.
Just doesn't feel fair. I think you have a lot more to risk though, because it's really just me, myself, and I. You've got the kids and Adam, but not to guide your answer. I'm curious, what are your personal fears as a gay man in 2025?
No, I mean that wasn't my answer, right? Like I have thick skin now, so 'cause that's just how you and I just have had to be, kind of growing up gay from high school all the way to now. So I'm not really worried about myself, right? Or even my own safety. Like whatever happens to me happens to me. But it's more like my kids feeling this, right? Like I don't want them to have to be told that they're different or get made fun of or God forbid get hurt or as a result. And like I think people are forgetting that this hatred turns into violence, and that's my biggest fear, is that some of this violence and the rhetoric that's being caused, especially by the right side, how it's so anti-gay, is gonna affect my children, right? And I think people forget that there are crazy people out there, and they turn their being uncomfortable, they turn their hate into hurting others. And that's my biggest fear. It's just like, leave us alone. And I fear that maybe we won't be left alone. And how do I protect my family from that? And the question is, I can only protect them so much. And I think that's my fear. I can't 100% protect them unless I keep them in a bubble. And that's not good either.
Yeah, it does the opposite. But I mean, there's like protecting them for the sake of like protecting them, and then there's protecting them based off of the sake of being scrutinized for the design of their family.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. And so I recently, you were talking about how crazy some of the more extreme thinkers are. And I had a neighbor over at my spot the other day, and they are MAGA. And, I try to have really I try to have conversations that help me open up sort of like perspectives and like listen so that I can learn and just expand. And I'm not kidding that the conversation got to the point where the gentleman was so angry
Yeah.
by all I was saying was the facts of the matter are this country was designed for and by straight white men.
Fact.
That's not a cast at you. Those are facts that we have to now look at how they've implicitly affected a multicultural nation. The guy got so heated. Why do I have to carry that bat? Why am I the bad guy? I'm like, you're the bad guy because you're complicit, and it's 2025, and you're still bringing up like, I mean, it wasn't even about gay people. We started talking about black people. Well, why are black people communities? I'm like, okay, we do not talk like that in my house. I had to tell him. I mean, he was shaking. So what am I
Yeah.
scared of? I'm scared of the fact that like somebody can like come into my house, have a conversation. It turned into an argument. Like I was actually scared that he was going to come back and do something.
Yeah.
I had to text him and be like, "Hey, bud, I know that we could have like these conversations, but you actually scared me that time." I mean, to the point of like grabbing his fists. And I said, "You have
Yeah.
to." I said, "You have to leave my house." Those are the things I'm scared of, right? Like that I can't have a conversation to help plead a case similar to you that this isn't like the life that I chose, but this is the life that I embrace holistically, and I'm going to try to like do as much as we are like this platform to pave the way for the future generations.
That is quite the first date, John.
And then he never called me back.
So we're going out tonight.
Yeah, so we have sushi in 30 minutes, gotta go. Oh gosh, I love how multicultural he is.
Yeah. And how open-minded.
Yeah, he's really coming around. It's been
And he'll
three
definitely
days
and he'll definitely defend me if he needs to.
Oh, forever. Yeah, we've known each other for 72 hours. Yeah, 72
Oh
hours.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my God, you're on a roll.
he's the one.
But no, being gay in 2025, I would say that there's a lot of negative parts, but I also think there's a lot of fun parts.
I was just gonna say we should pivot
Oh my gosh,
because
let's
that's what gays
pivot.
do. We pivot.
That's what gays do. Like when you think about when you and I were hanging out during Pride Month and stuff, like the amount of fun we had, and I think it's just we have to have fun in a safe way. Like we know what spaces we can go to, we know what communities and areas we can hang out in because we can't go everywhere and be 100% ourselves, but we found those spaces and like we had so much fun in June. We
So
partied so much in different with different people in different aspects and different areas, different kinds of things. But yeah.
so much fun. Do you remember? Do you remember sort of like rewind almost 20 years ago? You and I are both in our like 18, 19, 20. You're at UF, I'm at UCF. I think maybe along the way we had sort of come out, or I had come out at 16. You had eight. I forget that whole thing because it was a blur. But do you remember like we started like exploring like the community that we even grew up in, like Fort Lauderdale, and started exploring gay things there together,
Oh yeah.
around our college towns. It's just, I don't know. It's just looking back, we have had a lot of fun and we have had a lot of safe spaces to enjoy ourselves in. Just when we used to make shirts.
I was gonna say for A, to your point, like we definitely explored. I think what was fun about that age is it was pure curiosity, and we know everyone that age has curiosity, but like being a gay person in like the early 2000s, or I guess mid, I don't even know what, or 2005, let's say. Uh, yeah, we were able to just go to all these places and bars and feel empowered. Like we felt safe. That's what's weird. Like looking back, I don't know why we felt so safe, but I guess at that age you also feel untouchable.
Feel invincible, yeah.
But yeah, but I agree. Like you and I just like we also leaned into it. Like we always said we were going to church on Sundays, and we went
Yeah.
to Parliament House in Orlando, which by the way has not reopened. You and I walked by it. It's
I
supposed to
know.
reopen. But we would make shirts, and I think one year one every Sunday we made shirts, and I think one Sunday made one that said "Our God wears glitter."
Yep. And are
Which
we
we
allowed
should
to?
remake that, John. We should totally remake that.
Is that going in the? Is that going in the swag shop?
Yeah, has to.
Okay. Are adding it
Hashtag
to the
swag
list.
shop. Go shop,
Yeah.
guys, on our website.
It's all there. The ol&l swag shop. Um, our God wears glitter, and then there was the other one. Are we allowed to say it?
I forget it, so please tell me.
Oh, it was the one that had our handprint on the back shoulder, and it said "Fag, you're it."
Oh, yes, yes. So, but we can use that word. It's our word.
It's our word, yeah. Fag what?
Yeah, you're it.
Fag, you're it.
I haven't said it once though, but I'm not in the community, so I'm being very respectful.
Yeah. I'm a cool mom.
Yeah.
I'm not like the other moms.
Um,
But no, just like, and then there's a part of like being gay in 2025 is so unique to me because my best friend slash my chosen family slash my family slash you, like there aren't many people who have had sort of like the constant, the always on safe space that if I
right.
ever wanted to text, like you're there, vice versa. So it's been a very, I wouldn't, it's never been alone. And that's what's been kind of crazy about it. So many people do it alone.
I agree. I also like for me, you don't have this experience. Well, you might, but it's just a different experience. But I like that I am treated the same as the other straight dads.
I was going to ask you
Like
about that.
I get invited to like poker night. I get invited to the dad camping trips. I when there's like parties, I don't just hang out with the moms. I get to hang out with the dads too and shoot the shit. So like I also like that in 2025 because again, back to understanding your community. Like I live in a community that's very inclusive and more left leaning and liberal, and so none of what my being is matters to them in that they understand our struggles. They are here to listen, but they also just lean into I'm a dad, I'm a parent. And that's also nice to feel that you're not always just wearing a pure badge of honor of being the gay person, you know? So I'm sure you might have that experience with straight friends as well, but it's nice to kind of feel like it's not the only thing that is me. And I feel like that's what's changed in 2025 is it's a part of me. It's not the only thing that is me.
Shout out to all of the comfortable, in their own skin, straight men, husbands, straight dads that see people for people. I have those people in my world too. And as a matter of fact, they're among my favorite people because
Yes.
they not only can take a joke the best, but Lord, can they take a no? I'm just kidding. No, they take jokes and just like that, right? Like that would elicit like a lot of humor because for some reason all men are 3 years old,
Right.
regardless of regardless of your orientation, and any dick joke is funny. So
Love a good tick joke.
yeah, I love a good dick joke.
But what else about being gay in 2025? Because I feel like there's so many things that we're not unpacking yet.
Well, one of the things that came up in the conversation with the gentleman that I was at my house, which I just felt really insulted by, was he just kept bringing up, like, tell me what rights you guys don't have. And I'm just like, the fact that you even have to say that.
Yeah.
So, through a political lens, like, I think being gay in 2025 is great because of all the work that's been done. But the fact that, like, we still have to worry about lack of federal protections and that the states can rip away employment, families, and any of the other sort of unalienable rights that are afforded to other people, that kind of makes 2025 seem a little bit more like 1995.
Yeah, and also like the hard part about I guess being gay in 2025 is people who aren't in our community have opinions, and they have opinions based on very little research. It's like for example, some people will say, I don't like trans because kids are being indoctrinated at school and they're changing to girls or boys without my permission. That's just that's just false.
It's
Like
false.
that literally is false. You can't have that opinion. Have you talked to a trans person? Right? And so I do think that there's a world where like that's where it gets a little bit harder for us in this kind of era is like you can't say you want to vote against us, not give us rights, have an opinion that's anti us, but not take the time to understand us. Now, if you take the time and understand, sit down and talk to a trans person 101 for an hour, and then have an opinion, then I want to understand that a little bit more because you have at least engaged in the community. But if you're watching news and they're taking one example that's literally 0.5% of an entire community, like trans in sports, as an example. Do you know trans in sports? There's like 7 people. This whole thing up in arms because of 7 people
Yeah.
who are in sports. Please tell me why we are the right leaning people are so leaned into anti-trans and we don't want them changing and they're taking over our sports. It's 7 people, John.
Seven
But
people. Yeah.
but they lean into that one example and all of a sudden it becomes a way bigger thing.
7 people and the now canceled Lily Tomlin, or Tom, whatever her name is, from TikTok. Do you know who I'm talking about? The bathroom selfie girl at
Yeah,
Disney
yeah,
World.
yeah. Uh-huh.
But that's another example there because he's a straight man apparently, doesn't identify as trans, and literally hopped on a bandwagon and purposefully created this character
Yeah.
that really shined a bad light on the
Mm-hmm.
trans community. He acted abysmal every time he interacted with somebody, every time he was misgendered. He would make them feel awful. I think in this whole journey of life, like if somebody says something that doesn't seem like it comes from a place of malintent, like we're allowed to correct people kindly. Like we just live in this world where I feel like people have a hard time accepting things that they're unsure of, and instead of either not have forming an opinion whatsoever, they go the complete opposite and they start regulating what can and can't be right because their
Yeah.
brains can't process unless it feels safe, and for some reason that is part of it, and I'm really sorry for them for that. But anyhow, I
It's true.
digress.
But the one good thing about being gay in 2025 for anyone that is out there and enjoying their bodies and enjoying other people's bodies is HIV is no longer super scary anymore. And there's so many precautions to not get it. And I think that's actually something to be proud of in our community, right? Is we've always been a sex positive community, but we've always lived in fear because of disease. And I feel like our community's overcome that a little bit over the last few years, which is actually kind of exciting too.
I've always been jealous of the girls in high school who had to take birth control, and now I get to take PrEP, so I feel like I'm 16 again, really.
Every single day, just pop a pill or put it in your smoothie.
I told my sister I was taking PrEP. She goes, you have HIV? And I'm like, Carolyn, you can't be on PrEP and have HIV. I was like, it's the preventative version. And then here's a one to good send off about PrEP in 2025. I was getting my prescription filled, which they really should just change it to PrEP prescription, but I digress. And I was at Publix doing it, and the Pharmacist is like, what is it? And I'm like, prep. And she's like, what is it? And I'm like, prep. And then my phone rang, and then she's like, what is it? And I was like, prep. And I'm like saying it louder and louder and louder, and I'm so embarrassed. And like finally I'm like to the guy, I'm like, can you help her? I was like, this is a drug that I take to keep myself like safe sexually, and I really don't want to like have them hear me over in produce. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because then it's gonna give away why I have all these zucchinis, and now we're just embarrassed.
And that, my friends, is what being gay is in 2025.
Oh, what was it? Prep. All right, Bryan.
Go prep. I'll see you later.
Yeah, bye.
This was Out Loud and Laughing.
We're available everywhere you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever.